Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the current affairs. Today we are going to learn the current affairs of 22nd of November 2024. So let's start and see that what are the things we can learn from this day and what are the things we can add into our notes. So before we start, these are the topics I got covered for you in this session. Have a look at them and let's see that what we can add into our notes. So the topics are like this. So first of all, I have got international news, national news, state news, banking and finance news, sports news, important days, summits and conference, defense news, obituary, and at last I will summarize all the topics for all of you. Before we start, the images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So first news that we today have with us is Kenya cancels airport and energy deals with Indian tycoon Gautam Adani amid US bribery charges. So you must have heard about this in the news that some particular type of charges being issued against the Indian business tycoon, that is Mr. Gautam Adani. As the charges are like this, that he has given some particular bribes to the Indian officials and some US officials for the purpose of providing the energy departments or projects in the US. And amid of that, they have recently also got a lot of loss in the stock market, and after that Kenya now again cancels the airport and energy deals with the Indian tycoon Gautam Adani. So Kenya is a country that you can find on the African continent on the eastern side, and it is one of the country that touches the Lake Victoria. So Kenyan President William Ruto announced the cancellation of multi-million dollar deals with the Indian business tycoon Gautam Adani on November 21st, 2024. This decision was made due to concerns over bribery and fraud allegations against Adani. US indictments accuse Adani of security fraud and particularly bribery schemes linked to a solar energy projects in India. The cancellation follows mounting criticism and protests in Kenya regarding the controversial deals. So, for this purpose, remember the Kenya has cancelled the airport and energy deals with Indian tycoon Gautam Adani, and Kenya particularly is in Africa. Another one, so Armenia becomes the 104th full member of International Solar Alliance. So Armenia has now become the 104th member of the International Solar Alliance recently. ISA was established in 2015, aims to scale up the solar energy adoption, reduce cost, and facilitate the innovation. So recently, India has again gone the chairmanship of ISA, and the headquarter of ISA is in Gurugram. And now Armenia has become the 104th full member of International Solar Alliance. So the purpose of International Solar Alliance is to provide the solar energy production, electricity production all over the world. And for this purpose, mainly the countries that are existing in the tropical regions are focused to provide the particular areas where the solar projects can be implemented. And for that purpose, Armenia has now become the 104th full member. Under India's leadership, the ISA has launched impactful projects worldwide. Armenia's membership highlights its commitment to sustainable energy solutions, contribute to the ISA's goal of mobilizing $100 billion by 2030 for solar energy deployment, as it is one of the sustainable development goals under the UN resolution. India's first constitution museum inaugurated at OP Jindal University. So the India's first Constitution Museum was inaugurated by Lok Sabha Speaker Mr. Om Birla. His constituency is Kota. On November 23rd, 2024, at OP Jindal Global University in Sonipat, Haryana. The museum aims to enhance public understandings of the Constitution and its significance. The initiative was launched alongside the National Convention on the Constitution of India. It serves as a tribute to the architect of the Indian Constitution and celebrates its 75-year journey since adoption. So do remember that India's the first Constitution Museum is inaugurated at OP Jindal University. 26th of November is coming, and that particular day is known as the National Law Day, as that day is particularly known for the purpose that when the Constitution was being signed and adopted, particularly, and later on 26th January 1950, it was enforced in the whole nation. Tamil Nadu AI Mission Center of Excellence to boost startup and academia. So Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister is Mr. M.K. Stalin, and Tamil Nadu's AI mission is up to the mark. So at the Hindu AI Summit, Kumar Jayant announced Tamil Nadu's initiative to establish a center of excellence with the AI lab. Already we have AI city, that is Lucknow, and AI hub is being built in Bengaluru. COE aims to foster research, development, and support startups and academic institutions. The state is integrating AI into governance to enhance service in healthcare, agriculture, and public sector monitoring. Initiative reflects Tamil Nadu commitment to leveraging AI for societal benefit and innovations. So do remember now Tamil Nadu's AI mission is to create a center of excellence to boost startup and academia in Tamil Nadu. Another one, Karimganj district gets new name Sri Bhumi, says CM Sarma. So Karimganj district is in Assam. So on November 21st, 2024, the Assam government officially renamed the Karimganj district to Sri Bhumi. Headquarter town Karimganj will now be called Sri Bhumi town. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma authorized this move to honor the cultural heritage and historical significance of the region. The name change reflects the long-standing demands from the local people and connects the district of its spiritual roots. So Himanta Biswa Sarma is the Chief Minister of Assam. Capital is Dispur, and recently the district name of Karimganj district has been changed to Sri Bhumi. Recently, on 15th of November, Sarai Kale Khan Chowk was also named after the Bhagwan Birsa Munda Chowk on the 150th birth anniversary of Bhagwan Birsa Munda on 15th November. Another one, SEBI abolishes 1% security deposit mandate for public issues. So, particularly the Security and Exchange Board of India has abolished the requirement for issuer companies to deposit 1% of the issue size with the stock exchange before launching public issues of equity shares. The decision is effective immediately and aims to enhance the ease of doing business. 1% security deposit previously acted as a safeguard for resolving investors' complaint post issue. SEBI circular underscores the redundancy of this requirement due to the evolving regulator framework. So, SEBI is the Security Exchange Board of India, and it is the highest authority that takes care about the particular security things, about the particular working of the market capital and securities. So for that purpose, Security Exchange Board of India was established, and it was given the power in 1993 after the 1992 scam. And it has now abolished the requirement of issuer companies to deposit 1% of the issue size with the stock exchange before launching public issues of equity shares. DPIIT approves Hinduja Group IIHL acquisition of Reliance Capital. So, Department of the Promotion for Industry and Internal Trade has approved the 10,000 crore acquisition of Reliance Capital Limited by IndusInd International Holdings Limited, a Hinduja Group backed firm. This marks a significant development in resolving the debt-ridden Reliance Capital, which had accumulated liabilities exceeding 40,000 crore. The deal has passed through the necessary regulator clearances. It paves the way of the finalization of the acquisition, addressing one of the key challenges facing the troubled financial entity. Tata Power once again in news signs historic 4.25 billion agreement with ADB, that is Asian Development Bank. So it is a big news. Just read out with me. So Tata Power has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Asian Development Bank based in Philippines in Manila for $4.25 billion. Agreement aims to finance various clean energy projects in India. The collaboration will promote renewable energy sources and improve India's power infrastructure. The partnership includes financing for large scale solar wind hybrid projects, pumped hydro storage systems, and enhancing power distribution network. So, do remember the Tata Power has signed a memorandum of 4.25 billion agreement with Asian Development Bank. Recently, Tata Power has also got a particular project to particularly build solar power projects in the newly developing airport, that is the Noida International Airport in Jewar. And apart from that, Tata Power is also dedicating some works related to the solar power projects being developed in Rajasthan and other states in India. So remember, Tata Power has signed a historic 4.25 billion agreement with ADB, and particularly to promote the renewable energy source and improve India's power infrastructure. Bihar to host Khelo India Youth Games and Para Games in 2025. So Bihar will host the prestigious Khelo India Youth Games. Just to add, um, Khelo India Youth Games of 2024 were held in Tamil Nadu, and Khelo India Para Games in April 2025. So in April, Khelo India Youth Games are going to be taking place, and they are going to take place in uh, Bihar this time. Uh, Currently, if we talk about the hockey women's championship, Asia Women's Championship, it is also being held in Bihar in Rajgarh. The development showcased Bihar's growing capabilities in hosting major sporting events. Announcement was made by Union Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs, that is Mr. Dr. Mansukh Mandavia. Event emphasizes the importance of sports in achieving the vision of a Viksit Bharat by 2047. So, do remember Bihar to host Khelo India Youth Games and Para Games in 2025. Eden Garden to honor Jhulan Goswami with stand. So, Jhulan Goswami, you must have heard about her name. So she is a player of Indian cricket team, and particularly she is set to retire, and she was a fast bowler. And Eden Garden has particularly taken a stand to honor her of her legacy. So Indian legendary cricketer Jhulan Goswami will be honored at the iconic Eden Gardens in Kolkata. The Cricket Association of Bengal announced that a stand at the venue will be renamed in her honor. So a stand will be also be there in her honor, in the name of her honor. This marks the first woman cricketer to receive this recognition. The official unveiling will take place in January 2020, on January 2020 in 2025 during the India England T20 match. So remember, this makes the first Indian woman cricketer to receive this recognition. So this is the also a news that you can add, that who is the first female cricketer on whose name a stand will be there in Eden Garden. So that is Miss Jhulan Goswami. Alistair Brownlee retires. A triathlon legend bids farewell. So we are talking about a particular marathon runner and double Olympic champion Alistair Brownlee announced his retirement from a triathlon at the age of 36. Brownlee is known for his iconic victories in London 2012 and Rio 2016 Olympics. He has left an indelible mark on the sport, inspiring a new generation of athletes. His retirement marks the end of an era for British triathlon. So remember, Alistair Brownlee retires, a triathlon legend bids farewell. Italy clinches fifth Billie Jean King Cup title with Paolini dominance. So Italy claimed its fifth Billie Jean King Cup title on November 22nd, 2024. The final was held in Malaga, Spain, where Italy defeated Slovakia by 2-0. Jasmine Paolini commanding 6-2 to 6-1 victory over Rebecca Sramkova sealed the triumph for Italy. The victory marked redemption for Italy after their loss in the previous year's final. So remember, this year Italy clinches the fifth Billie Jean King Cup title, and Spain won the Euro Cup earlier this year. National Philosophy Day 2024. Date, history, theme, and significance. So, philosophy is the way of life, and National Philosophy Day is recognized globally as the World Philosophy Day. Is celebrated every year on Thursday of November. So please remember that it is celebrated on third Thursday of November. 2024, this day is observed on 21st November. The day highlights the profound influence of philosophy in shaping humans' thought and fostering the critical discourse. Established by UNESCO in 2002, it underscores the importance of philosophy in promoting intercultural dialogue and questioning assumptions that underpin human understanding. So, do remember, National Philosophy Day is observed on the third Thursday of November. And this year it was marked on 21st of November. So, particularly, we must read about some of the great philosophers during this day, as philosophers would be very helpful in making your thought process and shaping your way of life. World Television Day. So, World Television Day is celebrated every year on November 21st. So, Television Day is being aligned with the particular day that is called the Philosophy Day this year. But remember that Philosophy Day is on third Thursday, and World Television Day is celebrated every year on 21st November. The day underscores the role of television as a vital medium of communication. It highlights profound impact of television in shaping global awareness and influence decision making. Beyond entertainment release, television serves as a platform to address critical global issues including peace, conflict, and social development. India hosts first global cooperative conference in 130 years. So India will host the International Cooperative Alliance Global Cooperative Conference in New Delhi from November 25th to 30th November 2024. This is the first time in the 130 years history of the ICA that the event will be held in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the United Nations International Year of Cooperative 2025 during this event. The conference marks a significant milestone for the global cooperative movement. So, cooperative societies are being described in DPSPs also, and their importance also, and for their development and for the regular growth of these cooperative societies is important for the people who are associated with it or the people who are working with it. So, for that purpose, the International Cooperative Alliance is being hosted in New Delhi, and particularly it is the first time in 130 years that the history of ICA the event is held in India. So remember this point because this question would come into your exam. Recently, the G7 summit was held by Italy. G20 meeting was held by Brazil. If we talk about BRICS summit, it was held by Russia, and recently the COP29 was held by Azerbaijan, where COP28 was held by UAE last year. So remember, and UNESCO 46 summit was also held by New Delhi recently. Indian Army Chief named Honorary General of Nepal Army. So General Upendra Dwivedi, the Chief of the Army Staff of the Indian Army, was conferred with the title of Honorary General of the Nepal Army. So it is a kind of a honor that has been given to Mr. Upendra Dwivedi, and it has been given by the Nepal government. So he will be the Nepal General of the Nepali, Honorary General of the Nepali Army. Honor was bestowed by the President of Nepal, Ramchandra Paudel. This tradition reflects the deep-rooted historical, cultural, and military ties between India and Nepal. It highlights a strong, enduring friendship and strategic cooperation shared by the armies of both nations. The CDS, the Chief of Defence Staff of India, is Mr. General Anil Chauhan. Former Supreme Court Judge Justice H.S. Bedi passed away at 78. So, Justice Harjeet Singh Bedi, former Supreme Court Judge and ex-Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, passed away at the age of 78. So, he was the Supreme Court Judge. Supreme Court comes under Article 124, and particularly High Court, if we talk about it, comes under Article 214. A particular person or a judge from Supreme Court retires at the age of 65, and Mr. Harjeet Singh Bedi was a former Supreme Court judge and ex-Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court. He was known for a significant role in reviewing cases of alleged fake encounters in Gujarat. Justice Bedi was an eminent legal luminary who served the judiciary with distinction. His cremation is scheduled for Friday in Chandigarh. So, former Supreme Court Judge Justice H.S. Bedi passed away at the age of 78. John Prescott, former Deputy PM of Britain, dies at 86. Currently, the Prime Minister of Britain is Starmer and he's from Labour's party. John Prescott, the former Deputy Prime Minister of Britain, passed away at the age of 86. He was a champion of the working class and rose through the trade union movement. Prescott served as a Deputy Prime Minister in Tony Blair's government for a decade. His career was marked by significant achievements in environmental policy and social justice, leaving an indelible mark on British politics. So, do remember John Prescott, former Deputy PM of Britain, dies at the age of 86. So, let's revise what we have learned so far in this session, guys. So, first of all, Kenya cancels the airport and energy deals with Indian tycoon Gautam Adani amid US bribery charges. Armenia becomes 104th full member of ISA, headquartered in Gurugram. India's first Constitution Museum inaugurated at OP Jindal University in Sonipat. Tamil Nadu's AI Mission Center of Excellence to boost startups and academia. Karimganj district gets new names. Sri Bhumi says Hemanta Biswa Sarma, the Chief Minister of Assam. SEBI abolishes 1% security deposits mandate for public issues. DPIIT approves Hinduja Group IIHL acquisition of Reliance Capital. Tata Power signs historic 4.25 billion agreement with ADB. Bihar to host Khelo India Youth Games and Para Games in 2025. Also to add, Asian Women's Championship of Hockey is also being held in Bihar in Rajgrah. Eden Garden to honor Jolan Goswami with a stand. So she is the first Indian cricketer, female cricketer, on whose name a stand will be there in Eden Gardens. Alistair Brownlee retires. Our triathlon legend bids farewell. Italy clinches fifth Billie Jean King Cup title with Paulini dominance. National Philosophy Day 2024 is being commemorated on 3rd Thursday of November. World Television Day 2024 is being commemorated on 21st of November. This year, they are both aligned on one day. India hosts first global cooperative conference in 130 years in New Delhi. Indian Army Chief named Honorary General of Nepali Army recently. Former Supreme Court Judge and Justice H.S. Bedi, who was very famous for taking the and reviewing the cases of fake encounters in Gujarat, has passed away at the age of 78. And John Prescott, the former Deputy Prime Minister of Britain, and who was Deputy Prime Minister of Britain for 10 years during the Tony Blair's time, died at the age of 86. And that's it in this session, guys. I hope you gained a lot of knowledge and lot of things are added into your notes in the month of November. And certainly, we will meet in the next session in which we will discuss some more current affairs and some more knowledgeable facts. And till the time we meet, please be aware, be take care, everyone. And thank you. Bye bye. See you soon.